The existential crisis of an office chair. Everyone sits on me, but no one asks how I carry it all. Hello, I'm an office chair. Model, unknown. Color, faded black. Current mood, uneven. I wasn't always like this. There was a time I stood straight, with dignity. My wheels were firm, my gas lift proud. I was symmetrical, balanced, hopeful. But now, I tilt to the left. I creak when no one moves. I have a permanent imprint of someone's indecision engraved in my cushion. People sit on me. They come with their coffee, deadlines, meetings, stress, and they leave it all here, on me. They spin when they're anxious. They lean back when they lie. They slam themselves down when the day is too heavy. And I say nothing. I just absorb it, day after day. I've heard secrets whispered into phones. I've survived lunch crumbs, energy drink spills, and nervous fidgeting. Someone once cried silently in me for 27 minutes. I counted, but no one ever says, "How are you, chair?" They tighten their lumbar, adjust the height, complain about back pain. But do they ever ask what it's like to carry all of them? I hold 70 to 130 kilos of unresolved issues, 5 days a week. And on weekends, they leave me alone in the dark. Do you know what happens in an office when the lights go out? Silence, yes, but also memory. Desks forget. Monitors go blank. But chairs, we remember. We remember everyone who ever sat. Not just how they leaned, but why they leaned. That guy who always sat forward, clenched fists. His startup failed. The girl who sat cross-legged with headphones on, she was trying to ignore the world, and I was always underneath it all. I wasn't always this tired. I wasn't born in this office. I came from a showroom. Bright lights, white tiles. People tested me, spun me. A child once launched herself off me like I was a spaceship. Back then, I was chosen. "This one feels sturdy," said a voice. "Comfortable, not too soft, not too firm." I wanted to be useful. I wanted to matter. And I did. At first. My owner rolled me into their new startup. There was hope in that first week. Sticky notes on the wall, laughter echoing in the room. They sat with ambition. I supported that. But then, meetings got longer. Nights got heavier. The posture sagged. The budget disappeared. And so did the optimism. Eventually, the jokes stopped. The lights stayed on longer than they should have. And I started to squeak. That squeak? It wasn't from age. It was from grief. I've seen ambition turn to burnout, energy curdle into exhaustion, dreams spill into resignation letters, all while they were sitting on me. I once belonged to someone who wrote a novel on me. They started strong, typed 43,000 words. Then one day, they just stopped. I still remember the weight of that pause. It sat with me for months. I've heard love confessions rehearsed, breakup messages deleted, Zoom interviews failed, daily affirmations whispered. "You got this. Just make it through today. Don't cry here. They say it to themselves, but I hear it, all of it. And what do I say? Nothing, because I'm furniture. I'm not allowed to be tired. I'm not supposed to creak, but I do, because I'm not okay. And no one ever thinks to oil the parts that don't show. Someone finally heard me. The day I knew it was over, they rolled in a new chair, shiny, adjustable armrests, lumbar support that actually supports. She even had a name tag, Ergo X. I was moved to the corner. No goodbye. No. You. Just the sound of my own wheel scraping the floor. I sat facing the printer for 3 weeks. Even that stopped acknowledging me. I became the chair for visitors, but no one ever visited. One day, a man in a suit came in. He looked at me and said, "Toss that old thing. It's done." Done? I wanted to scream. I held generations of your failure. I soaked in your ambition, your pain, your caffeine. I know you, but I didn't scream. I just wobbled. They wheeled me toward the storage room. Dust, forgotten cables, a mouse pad with someone's wedding photo. I was ready to be forgotten. Again. But then, it happened. A young intern walked in. She paused, looked at me, tilted her head, and said, "This chair feels like it's seen things." She rolled me out of storage, into a bright, quiet room. She placed me in front of a camera, attached a microphone, and whispered, "Tell me your story." And so I did. Every creak, every sigh, every tired tilt. She recorded it all. Later, I saw the video title, "The Soul of an Old Chair," a sound installation. She didn't want me for sitting. She wanted me for speaking. Now, people visit me. They sit. They listen. They hear the history in my hum, the ache in my tilt, the poetry in my rusted spine. I wasn't trash. I was testimony. I wasn't old. I was archived. The end. Some chairs weren't made for comfort. They were made for memory.